Welcome back, everybody, to We Talk Film. I'm your host, as always, Barry, joined as always by Clayton. How you doing, Clayton?
Oh, hey, Barry. I'm doing good.
That's good. I feel like we need to come up with like a new introduction or something like that, because I'm always asking how you're doing, and it's always the same. We're doing good. We're on the podcast again, talking to you guys about films and more.
It's true. That's true. That's kind of what we do. You know, we talk film. It's kind of in our name. If you didn't figure that out,
it's kind of in our name. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured it out yet. So you know, slowly, I'm getting there.
We're supposed to be talking about like film. What?
We talk about film. What? Wow.
Have to start again. All right, Barry. Roll the news.
Roll the news. Take it away, Clayton.
We got some new trailers this week. The first one that came up on my radar was for Godzilla -1. This is a Japanese Godzilla movie that looks like it's a sequel to the King of the Monsters-y stuff.
Okay.
Because the Godzilla looks the same. It looks kind of cool.
Nice.
It's definitely a check out the trailer if you haven't seen it, because it looks just like Godzilla fun.
That's pretty cool.
Looks like generic Godzilla.
I like Godzilla.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that one out. That's cool. So we got that. That's coming out December 1st, so that's not that far away. And we also got a new trailer for Loki, which is also coming out soon. And this shows off a lot more of what we can expect from the season. We see a lot of Loki and Sylvie, the female Loki together. See a lot more weird time shenanigans running around. Don't know who the villain is. Don't know what's going on.
Could be anyone.
It looks like fun.
At this point.
It looks like
could
lots
be
of
Deadpool.
fun.
We don't know.
Oh god, it could be. That's true. We got trailer for another Exorcist film.
Another one.
It's weird because this is called Exorcist Believer, and it's different to the one that I thought this was, because I thought we were getting an Exorcist film, or maybe we got an Exorcist film this year. I remember there was one with like two demons, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's two of them!" But no, this is different.
Two of them now. It's like
it's
the
weird,
Sith.
and I'm
There's
not
always two, and only two.
Always two with Pazuzu. That's his catchphrase. He says that in every movie. No, so I have no idea what's going on with the Exorcist movies. This one also looks kind of generic and bland. But something that doesn't look generic and bland, we got a trailer for The Boys Gen 5, the spin-off show for The Boys.
Or Gen V.
They're at college.
Yeah.
Gen V. And there's Muppets.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on. A lot of blood, like The Boys always is. A lot of goriness to it. It's definitely in the world of boys, that's for sure.
True. I'm not sure if that's on the recording, Barry. You got a little funky. You're running like a PowerPoint show, and your audio's a little wacky. I might have to cut this bit out.
That's all right. We're fine. We'll keep going.
Is that okay? We'll continue. Okay. We'll push forward anyway.
We'll continue. We'll push forward.
If it's bad, I would have cut this part out. Anyway, so we also got a trailer for Thanksgiving, a horror movie that looks as boring as batshit. It's like that Christmas one that they tried to do. It's Thanksgiving. I don't know. There's turkeys and there's a slasher killer. It looks like the most boring horror movie ever. So I'm skipping that one as well.
Yeah,
sure. But that's pretty much it for trailers this week. We got a bunch of reveals, bunch of things. For news, this is where it gets even more interesting, because we had a lot happen this week as well. The first one that I'd like to mention is Talk to Me, a film that's doing really well, as it's now A24's highest grossing horror movie, which is really great for the Australian film industry.
Oh, yes.
It's topped Hereditary, so it's topped the box office that did, and it's doing really well, especially in the US, because this is domestic US numbers. The fact that it's doing really well over there is a great sign, especially for the directors, the filmmakers.
Yeah.
Very great. Very cool. Speaking of cool, Stray is a video game about a cat running around with some robots in a cyberpunk world. I've never played it,
weird little
but
mutant
it's
creatures and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never played it, but it's getting an animated film. I'm sure. I'm not sure how a film from the perspective of a cat that doesn't talk would work. It would be like if Garfield didn't talk. but with robots.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
gonna be
It could be
interesting,
cool.
but yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is so like kind of strange as well. There's so many other bigger video games that came out over the years, but for some reason, Stray's just straight up getting a film.
I mean, sure, I'm all for it. I'm all
Yeah,
for
yeah.
adaptations of video game media, especially ones that I don't know anything about and haven't played, because I'll
Yep,
probably watch
yep.
this movie because that sounds interesting.
It
Like a
does.
really
It
cool
does.
concept if they can pull it off. So we'll see how that turns out. All right. Okay, this is our big story this week. This is really important for the world of like internet movie reviews and just movies in general because on Rotten Tomatoes, it has been revealed that a certain PR company known as Bunker 15 has been paying critics to boost reviews of certain films.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy, Barry.
Ew,
Yeah, so it's
great.
not good.
No, that is
Yes, the
not great at
example
all.
example given is Ophelia, a film starring Daisy Ridley, which was bumped around 20% higher just from these paid reviews. It was sitting at about a 40%, but these paid reviews bumped it up to like a 60%. So there is quite an impact that this one little PR company is having on this website because it also revealed that 1/3 of Americans check Rotten Tomatoes before they watch a movie. So
Yep, yep.
fact that some numbers are wrong is not a good sign for them. So yes, it's
No,
definitely a
no,
check
that's
multiple
not
sources.
great at all. Especially yeah,
Watch a
well, that's
movie,
the
judge
thing
for
because
yourself.
so many things and everything now they go off the internet score, especially Rotten Tomatoes score for just about everything for like advertising reasons and stuff like that because it's like the
Mm-hmm.
go-to thing worldwide. And to hear that it's actually been yeah, kind of messed with a little bit for these films and stuff like that. It would be interesting to find out now, actually, like how many other films by other companies and maybe and stuff like that that
Yeah.
have been doing the same thing, you know? So,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guarantee this has been happening since the dawn of time.
oh
Manipulation
yeah,
through critic reviews? Oh, for
yep,
sure.
oh for sure,
It's hard to catch and it's hard to crack down on, especially
yep,
I'm surprised that they found out about this, honestly.
yeah,
Because yeah, I guarantee that studios are paying filmmakers, certain people that review it have seen it early or seen it for free and all of this other factors that go into it because all critic
yep,
reviews are biased and opinionated anyway, so it's getting an average and that average being a bit
yeah,
skewed in a
yep.
certain direction is not good.
No,
Uh,
no,
I don't know. Let's just watch a movie and judge it for yourself, or come to
yeah,
us. We'll review all of the
exactly. You
films.
know, just listen
Honestly,
to We Talk Film, and then you can go and see
we're
it for
not.
yourself afterwards if you liked it or not.
We're not biased, and we
We're
definitely
not
don't get
biased at
paid by the
all.
studios
Oh, we definitely
unless the
don't get paid
studios
by the
wanted to pay us.
studios. Yeah, unless you want to pay us. Wink, wink. Jeff
We'll give them 10.
Bezos,
We'll give every film a 10 out of 10
Bob Iger.
if you guys pay us. Whoever else is on that list,
Whoever
Lex
else.
Luthor, whoever, yeah. What are some other billionaires? I don't know names. I know this name though. Aaron
You know a name?
Paul. The
Oh, that is a
I
name.
do. Aaron Paul, one of the main actors from the Breaking Bad series. I don't know if you've heard of it, but apparently, it's come out. This is something that he revealed during the writers' strike, which is one of the reasons he's against the whole thing and he's striking and all of that
Yep.
jazz. Is because he doesn't get any residual pay from Breaking Bad being streamed. Anything on streaming that he's done, he gets no residual pay, nothing at all like that whatsoever. So it's
Damn.
definitely a bit of a change because reruns on TV and stuff used to get residuals.
Yep, yep.
Used to be a thing as you get paid for reruns as well. No, not with streaming. It seems like it's just a loophole that studios have found,
Yeah,
Netflix,
yeah.
Disney, all of that. Because yeah, once it's up on streaming, they can't really on it and they won't disclose view numbers and
Well,
they
that's
basically
the
like, yeah,
reason
yeah.
why we're having the strikes and everything at the moment is because of this reason. Because that's the thing. In the recent years now, streaming services are the big thing now. You know, nobody watches TV anymore, or very rarely anyway. And
No.
yeah, there's no one to be able to govern the streaming services yet because it's still such a new thing. That's the thing. TV's been around for what
70 years.
80 years,
Like,
70 years,
yeah.
something like that now. So you know they
Yep.
have obviously had time to build up and everything like that, all the necessary things. Then along came the internet, and along with that came streaming services, and along with that
Oh
came the
boy.
strikes that are still going.
Yes, it's very much a weird, hard subject because the
Oh yeah,
technology and the internet is advancing so quickly that the lawmakers can't keep up with it. we're still dealing with the video game issues that have arisen decades ago. You know, it's almost impossible to keep up with the advancement of technology, especially in the case of writers trying to keep up with AI now. It's going to take them 10 years to get laws in place for that sort of stuff to happen, and by then it won't matter because we'll be in Terminator anyway. So it's a convoluted thing. I'm glad that they're striking for majority of reasons, but I'm not sure how far anything's going to get. It seems like it's fighting a winning battle. It's like Sisyphus climbing that hill with a boulder. It feels like it's an unwinnable fight.
Yep. But that's the thing. Yes. Hopefully things will get solved soon enough because, I think already they're losing more money or whatever at the moment than whatever the SAG and everything are actually asking for the writers and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. And still these big companies and stuff like that are still turning around and being like, no, we're not doing anything.
It's crazy.
It's just like, what? Like, you're literally losing money, and now we're going to be like probably the next year. We'll start to see it next year, most likely. There's going to be this big drought of all these films not coming out and nothing happening and stuff like that, or just very generic stuff, Yeah.
Great for the indie film market. Maybe we'll see a boom in that because they can still be made.
Yep, they can still definitely
it's
be
weird. It's like there's upsides to the strike happening, and then there's these downsides. There's pros and cons definitely for both sides. It's insane. What's going on? We'll make sure to keep covering it. Anyway, our next story ties into a movie that we're talking about tonight because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is getting a spin-off.
Ooh, it's getting a spin-off?
It's getting a spin-off, but it's not in the way that I'd bet you'd think. It's getting a video game spin-off.
Ooh.
That will apparently continue the story in some way, or it's only just gone into the works, but could be cool.
Could be
that's
cool.
2 Ninja Turtles games that are in the works currently. There's that one, and there's a game for The Last Ronin, the comic book series.
Yes.
Made.
Yep,
so
I heard about that. So
a lot of Ninja Turtles. So I guess if you're a fan of the movie, keep an eye out for that. We'll see how that looks. I don't know. We'll show it. We'll cover it on We Talk Games. That's no, we won't.
No. Well, that's not a real thing. But Gamers Regretters. But is that all the news?
Oh, there's more news. Ignore the shameless plug, everyone.
Hey, it's connected. He's just
gonna throw his YouTube channel in there.
It's connected.
Even the We Talk Film YouTube, he's like, follow Gamers Regret.
It's the Barry Cinematic Universe. It's all connected.
Speaking of cinematic universes, our next story is a little thing, right? Do you remember the I Am Groot shorts that came out like a year ago?
Oh, yes.
Like 5 little 5-minute shorts.
Little shorts.
Fun little things. They went for about 20 minutes all up. We got 5 more of them. We got a second season of I Am Groot, and that's recently just come out. I haven't seen them yet, but they look just as fun.
It's baby Groot, man. Like, it's adorable.
It's true. It is fun. It doesn't tie into the MCU really in any way, apart from it being little fun stories. So, sure, why not?
Why not?
I'm always happy for more stuff with characters that I like. So that's cool. Speaking of cool, Tarantino's next movie, The Movie Critic. Apparently, the lead role has been offered to Mr. Paul Walter Hauser, an actor that I'm not familiar with, but apparently he's been in some things, and apparently Tarantino wants him. I don't know what his response to that is or anything, but he looks like a writer, dude. He looks like he'd fit.
Yes. I'm actually looking at him right now. No,
in your room?
In my room. He's here in the studio right now.
Hi, I'm Paul Hauser. I'm here on We Talk Film.
Oh, Paul Walter Hauser. I remember you from films such as Barrett.
Richard Jewell, Blackbird, Queen Pins, I, Tonya. He was in a quite reputable film. Well, especially Richard Jewell. That was like the first film I think I saw him in, which is a not Quentin Tarantino film. Clint Eastwood film, sorry. And it's actually based upon true events and everything like that. Right. And I have seen him in a few other movies as well. Like he's appeared in stuff like that. So yeah, he has been in a few things, and that's going to be quite interesting to see him in this film.
if he gets it, which I think he will. I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, Tarantino's doing what he wants anyway. If it's offered to him, he'll probably get it. Like Tarantino, would you say no to Tarantino's last film, especially an actor of his size?
Yeah, that's the thing. So. Like, yeah, it's gonna be Tarantino's last film. I keep forgetting that's gonna be his 10th and final film. So until he like wants to make more money, they all say
because
that. They all say that.
Speaking of filmmakers wanting to make more money, ties in perfectly to my final story because a film came out recently that I have yet to see called The Boy and the Heron by Mr. Hayao Miyazaki.
Out in Japan, by the way. Out in Japan only at the moment. Yeah.
And it'll be out in the English world soon.
December,
so we'll be able to watch it.
So
cinemas soon. So we'll get that. But apparently, this was supposed to be his last film, if you remember correctly. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Like, oh, this is his last one. He's retiring. Apparently, he's not because he's
back at
still
it again.
reportedly going back to his office every day, and apparently he's coming up with ideas for his next movie. So it seems like he wanted to retire, but he just enjoys making movies so much. He's just going to keep doing it until he dies.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, good on him because I am only hearing good things about this film that he's done. Like everyone that I've seen reviewed and stuff like that, it's like 9 and above. So, you know.
He hasn't done a bad film that I can recall.
No,
like
all of them
they're
are
all good.
amazing.
Even if it's sure keep making movies. You're doing banger after banger and you love doing it, clearly. So keep going. If you want to retire, you could have retired 20 years ago and been a millionaire.
Yeah, well that's the thing, because this is his 4th time that he said he was going to retire. So, you know.
True. But it seemed like this time, because he's getting on. He's old.
Oh, yeah.
He's an old man.
He's not a young man anymore. But, you know, Japanese people, they live forever.
I don't think that's how that works. But anyway, that's it for the news. Barry works out how humans work, apparently, this episode.
Exactly.
What are we doing tonight, Barry?
Tonight,
what's our main event?
We are doing... Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in a show, Turtle Power.
Turtle Power.
That is what we're doing tonight, Clayton. We are talking about, as we were saying earlier in the news, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, that has just recently come out. It was out in America before Australia got to see it, so we're a bit behind on it all and everyone else. But I've gone to a little synopsis for you. So after years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers are back again in a new form of animation, as this time the brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers to be accepted as normal teenagers. And their friend April O'Neil helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. So, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back yet again. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time we actually have teenagers voicing them, the Turtles, which
this is
was
the
absolutely
first time.
amazing. This was the first time.
It was amazing.
So, that's
this film is like the 25,000th reboot of the Ninja Turtles franchise. So, this time it's helmed by Seth Rogen at the wheels. He wrote it, and he stars as either Bebop or Rocksteady. I don't remember which one in the movie. Seen as the other one. So yeah, basically he took all of his money that Seth Rogen has and threw it into making a Spider-Verse style animated reboot of the Ninja Turtles, where they're actually teenagers and Jackie Chan is the rat that teaches them. So that's kind of where he's going into it.
I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, Jackie Chan is Splinter. Cool. It's kind of amazing.
He was my favorite part of this movie. It was just Jackie Chan as Splinter. And that was just because he was just being Jackie Chan. It was great. He's good in everything. Even a bad movie with Jackie Chan is good because you love seeing Jackie Chan. No one hates Jackie Chan. Like, universally loved. And this movie continues that because it's great. But despite this movie being a fun, cool little idea, it kind of fell flat. And I'm devastated to say it because I had high hopes for Mr. Seth Rogen, and it just seems like him, the king of whack, generic with this one.
Yeah,
I'm a little devastated, Barry.
Well, that's the thing, because everyone seems to be raving on about it, because it was obviously out in America and stuff like that early on. And currently it is sitting on Rotten Tomatoes. And, you know, it's kind of hard to go off Rotten Tomatoes now and everything like that because of what happened. It's currently sitting at 97% on the critic review and then a 90% on the audience score. So
Really?
Yeah, it is. It is very high. And everywhere else I'm looking, people are rating it quite highly as well. But yeah, you and I, are kind of indifferent to that, I feel like a bit. Like you were saying. Well, first of all, I'll talk about the good points that I liked today, if you don't mind, Clayton. So the good points about it were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because this time, as we said, they were actual teenagers, and the way they were talking to one another and everything like that, and the brotherly love that they all share, you could actually see it in this film a lot more. And it was like, that's what I expect teenagers to sound like and kind of act like these days as well. And that was absolutely amazing to see. Just like how they were working. And I did watch a behind the scenes thing of like the 4 young actors or voice actors that voiced them all and stuff like that. And a lot of their like lines as well, when they were just talking to one another in the actual studio room. So they actually just put it in the film type thing in certain parts, which was really cool to see. And then obviously, yes, we had Jackie Chan as Splinter, which was really cool to hear and see, because they did use a lot of his fighting combats from past films as like the fighting scenes were reference for his fighting scenes. And then like it's got an absolutely big cast full of amazing actors. Well, we got Ice Cube, who played as Superfly, who was basically the villain of this film. And then we got Ayo Edebiri, sorry, I mispronounced that, as April O'Neil. She's actually one of the lead stars in the Bear TV show, which is an absolutely amazing TV show. I recommend that to anyone to go and watch that on Disney or Hulu, wherever it is, depending on where you are. It has Hannibal Buress in this one, Rose Byrne, John Cena, Natasha Demetra, Giancarlo Esposito, obviously known as Gus from Breaking Bad. Post Malone was in this movie as well. He played voiced Ray Fillet. And yeah, we had Seth Rogen as Bebop. Paul Rudd was Mondo Gecko.
One.
Yeah, and Maya
Rudd
as Cynthia Utrom. So yeah, like it had absolutely banger of a cast and everything like that. And it just, like you said, it fell flat, like to me and everything like that. And this film, it only goes for just over an hour and a half. It dragged on. I'm sorry. Like, I get they were trying to do the style of Spider-Verse and, make it all that type of thing as well. What they show in the trailers and stuff like that is only like the good parts of the actual film. Watching it in that style and how they did it wasn't great. Like, it's not comparable to Spider-Verse whatsoever. It just felt like really rushed and like, here's 3D models, let's do some 2D drawing over the top of them. And they did it for literally every single object. And it was so annoying to like actually visually look at. Even though that's the thing, some of the action scenes and everything like that are so well done throughout the film. When the action scenes happen is really well done. But when it really hit those low moments of just like static shots and everything like that, it was just like, okay, that's what's going on. And yeah, I just kind of felt like that with the story is well. Like it felt when we did have those serious moments throughout the film, they just dragged on way too much type thing. And it just, it kind of bring down the movie, I feel like, for me a bit. But then like all the action scenes, especially at the beginning when they first had their big fights and stuff like that, trying to find out what's going on and how to be heroes essentially for New York and everything. That was really well done. And then when at the end, when we all had the mutants, because Mutant Mayhem and everything goes chaos, and it just kind of fell flat towards the end, Like it was all, spoilers.
Yep.
Always forget that button.
I forgot that we had a button, honestly.
That's right. And the story for it towards the end just really fell flat, like all the mutants got together, all happy rejoice besides Superfly. And then Superfly was the one big bad guy at the end. And they're like, everyone just like decided to team up with the Mutant Ninja Turtles to save the day type thing. So,
Yes, that's true. Yeah, no, I agree with pretty much all of your points. The except for the animation style, I think worked a little bit more for me. Mostly, maybe because I was just kind of zoning out throughout the whole movie, and
Yep,
because the story was just bad. That was
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing that took me out of it, was just the
Yep.
story. It was so generic. It was like, oh, they're sheltered. Oh, they get out. They meet someone. Oh no, there's bad mutants. Now we have to team up and fight the bad mutant. Oh, we won because we threw the thing in the thing. They didn't do anything different. This movie was so goddamn predictable every step of the way. But it did have moments. Action, some of the action was really cool. Up until the last end of Godzilla fight, that was
the
dumb.
Godzilla fight just like fell through for me. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. If we took the mutant mayhem out of this movie, we have a really solid Ninja Turtles movie. That's the thing, is this should just be Ninja Turtles. Lose the mutant and the mayhem, and we have a really good movie, because that would have been awesome. And that's the thing. You know what this movie reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
I don't know if you've seen it. Certain other animated Ninja Turtles movie from 2007, I think.
Yes.
You've seen that one.
I know which one you're talking about.
Is really good. And that did a similar sort of plot. It had all the weird, like, mutant mayhem at the end, too. The big army that they were fighting off against of weird mutant dudes. But that did it really well. Because that movie was serious with it, with its tone. The characters all made sense.
Well, that's the thing. That wasn't mutants.
Wasn't
that was like weird ancient god things and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but we can
the
compare it.
Brothers. Oh yeah, like same type of thing.
Yeah.
Even as well, like the turtles in that. Obviously, when they wrote that one, the 2007 one, what we're talking about, they were like been around for quite some time already.
Yeah.
Like they were adults in that film. Essentially, they weren't teenagers.
Adult Mutant Ninja Turtle? It doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yeah, but basically they were adults in that.
That one felt very much like a continuation of the show or something. It was something, it was whatever it was meant to be, but it was good. It was really good. This one, it fell so flat, and I'm so disappointed because of the amount of talent behind this one compared to some of the other ones. I love the live action Ninja Turtles movies more than I love this one. Because those ones
which live action? The original ones?
Oh, the original. Yeah, I forgot they did the one with like Megan Fox and whoever else was in that movie.
They're bad.
Not those ones. I forgot that existed. I meant the original. Yeah, they were costumes.
Oh yeah, those ones are just absolute classic 90s films. Yeah,
like the Ninja Turtles, and this is just a different take on it. Of course, they're aged up. They're modern day teenagers. They don't say cowabunga. They don't skateboard around. They don't act like this. They're still doing ninja stuff. It's I don't know. It's like they changed just enough for it to be different, but then threw them in the most generic story ever. It's like, you didn't have to make this a Ninja Turtles movie. You could have just changed all of the looks and names, and it would have been something else, Yeah. Monsters versus aliens if you replace it with another Seth Rogen character. It's, there's nothing to this movie that sets it apart from what it's trying to copy, which is other Ninja Turtles and other like Spider-Verse-y stuff. So go watch those. You don't need to watch this one. You can already guess what's going to happen.
As well, because it's so bizarre, because obviously in the title it is called Mutant Mayhem. So, and how they're doing the advertising and stuff like that, I was literally expecting them with like Bebop, Rocksteady, and all the other mutants that they added in. That's what the Turtles were actually going to go up against and everything like that. That's what I was expecting from this film. And then in the end, they're just like, no, okay, we're just going up against the one guy. And it's just like, the one guy's super OP and turns into Godzilla.
The Fly.
Yeah.
It was
just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it just kind of fell flat with the story.
It really doesn't.
And but saying that though, I am, if they ever do, and I kind of hope they potentially might do, well, like you said, they are doing a video game of it, which is apparently a continuation. Obviously, we're not sure upon the story details, but at the end of this film, they do tease Shredder, because obviously you can't have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles without introducing Shredder, because he's the
was that an
villain.
after credits thing?
That was an after credits thing.
I didn't watch the credits.
Oh, okay.
I turned it off. Sorry, Barry. Tell me what happens.
So basically, what happens? The doctor lady that wants to milk him, or that did milk him. That got me as well. Obviously, Splinter throughout the story is like pretending the kids like you don't want to get milked by humans, which was the funniest thing. Every time they said it, I just kept cracking up.
It was pretty funny. And
but
then
that
they got
scientist
milked.
lady, and then they got milked. It's like, for fuck's sake. But basically, that scientist lady that did capture him in the film, I forget her character. She was such a blowaway character type thing.
She was in
evil
it for
science
2
lady.
seconds.
Yeah, evil science lady.
She had the
basically
ugliest
calls
character design.
Yeah.
She had no chin and like a neck that was like 3 feet tall. It was awful.
Yeah, she basically says to her like bodyguard or whatever, she's like, call in the Shredder, and then it teases Shredder looking over the city. And then it had like the teenagers and stuff like that going to school and stuff like that as well. Did you watch that scene?
Yeah. I turned it off.
Yeah.
It was done. In my eyes, it was done. I'd seen all I needed to see. I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah, I'm over it too.
Yeah,
so, I kind of would like a second one almost, because that's the thing. This film is still like, it's good. I put it actually above the recent live action ones that they did, for sure.
It's true. I forgot. I forgot about those. So yeah, I agree with that.
I don't like those ones whatsoever. But that's the thing. There has been better animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in recent years, because even a couple years ago, there actually was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie that I think was based off the recent 2D animation series they did, or something like that. And it was like a continuation, and one of them got like sent back in time, and stuff like that.
Oh god, it's Turtles in Time. It's Ninja Turtles 3.
Somewhat. What was it called? Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
All right.
That was actually really well done. Oh yeah, no, on Netflix last year. That's when it came out.
Okay.
That was actually like really a very good interpretation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if I'm being honest. Like, I preferred that one more than this current one and everything like that. And that's the thing. It's just like, there's been so many different incarnations now of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's kind of in the name as to what they are as well. Like, you know what you're going to get into when you like see the name of it all. And it kind of felt like with this new film that did come out, that it was kind of like they're trying to be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's already in the name, but they're just trying to make a reason in the movie for that to be the name type thing, where it's just like everyone knows what they are type thing. Like, it's in the name. Just like go with it, because they've been around for so long now, this franchise. Like, so long. And it would be like interesting maybe one day as well, because have you ever seen the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics? The original
No, but I've seen the show, but I haven't seen the original comics. No.
Because the original comics for them is like black and white and like very adult compared to anything they have ever done.
Wow.
For it. Yeah. So if you go back and actually look at the comics and everything, like, because even when they did the 90s animated show, which is what made this franchise so big, was it 90s?
Such a good
80s?
show.
Yeah.
That was 80s, yeah.
80s, yeah.
But it was really good.
But yeah, if you ever go back and actually look at the original comics and stuff like that, the original one that they published, it is absolutely such like a twisted evil style look to them and everything like that. And it was like a totally different type of thing. And it wasn't to the 80s, like they changed it up. They're like, oh, we're gonna try and make this a kids thing now. And it like it kind of just set the stage for what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would eventually become, or is still now. And that's the thing with like, we got the Ronin series that came out recently, what they're going to be making the new video game from. That's kind of an homage to the original comic book, because that dealt with very dark elements to it and everything like that. But yeah, you know, maybe like they might do that if they do a second one of this movie and everything like that. But yeah,
get a bit more adult with it, you think?
Get a bit more adult with it, I reckon.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles as a franchise has kind of gone between the kiddie stuff and the adulty stuff. Like you said, we got more comic book adult stuff. We've had them show up in like Injustice, things like that.
That's right. Yeah.
Even like the 2007 movie was like they all hated each other. That was very dark and gritty for an animated kids movie.
Yeah.
And then we get stuff like this, and we get stuff like the shows that are on like the Disney Channel or whatever.
Oh yeah, well that's the one, because even the one that came out last year, the 2D one I was telling you about, like it gets into very dark stuff. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are basically dead in it.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. See, so, I don't know that. I haven't really kept up with it. And then we got those other live action movies that sucked. Those were a bit more adulty. They looked very much the menacing little aggro-looking dudes. But it's hard to strike a balance with the turtles because you need that balance.
Yeah.
You need the tense stories, the heartfelt characters. You need the funny moments as well. You need them like cowabungaing and eating pizza. But you also need the storytelling to be there. And this movie doesn't have that.
No,
it doesn't have gripping, compelling story because you know nothing's gonna matter. You're gonna be fine. They're gonna beat the monster. Everyone's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to keep me there, Barry. It's like I didn't need to watch this movie.
Yeah. No,
why did you make me watch this movie, Barry?
Because it came out, all right, and I went to go to the cinemas and it was there. So
disappointed in you, Mr. Seth Rogen.
Just a little bit. So yeah, overall, my final thoughts on it. Could have been so much story or so much better in the story wise anyway. And that's the I do like all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this film. Like that to me, that was literally the best part of this was how they talked to one another and stuff like that. How they acted with one another and everything like that. They acted
those
like
four
teenagers.
were fun.
Those four were fun. It is for everything else just fell flat. It just fell super flat for me. So yeah,
Except
I'm
for
going
Splinter.
to except for Splinter because Splinter's Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan kicks ass as always. So I'm going to give this 4.5 out of 10. My review. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Wow. That's crazy. I thought my score was going to be low because, again, the Turtles themselves are great. And it makes me wish that the world that these guys were in was around it. If we threw these guys out there and they were having consequences for not being able to work together and all of this stuff, like if they go out to that first fight and they get their asses kicked or like one of them gets hurt, and then they realize like that gravity of this situation, they're going to have to actually try and not just goof around and throw stuff and then have everything work out. There's no stakes in this movie at all. Nothing matters. There's just nothing for you to care about. No suspense. You know they're going to get out of it. It's going to be fine. But it's funny. The chemistry between the four is great. Splinter's great. Other mutants, they were there, I guess. We just whatever. You could have done it so much better. It's like it's not hard, and I expect so much more from the great filmmakers involved with this project. I mean, we've seen Seth Rogen do really good, really suspenseful, really gripping stuff, and we've seen it from all of those people. And if they do a sequel, they're gonna have to really blow me away because I don't think I'd watch it otherwise. I'm giving this a 5 out of 10, and that's a very generous 5. So.
That's about it. But I highly do recommend to actually go back and watch Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2D animation one that is on Netflix, because it actually is from a cancelled series called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that only ran for 2 seasons, and then they made a movie, or Netflix released it anyway. Because that movie, the story for it actually had consequences to it. It started in the future where all the turtles were dead, type thing, besides one, and one of them sacrificed himself to send Casey back in time. Because obviously Casey from the original series and stuff, like the hockey mask guy is in it. He's actually from the future in this story and everything like that. And it was really kind of interesting take on it. And even when he does go back in time and tries to save everyone because of what happened, because of Krang and stuff like that, it's actually there is consequences to their choices, and it was really quite compelling. And I think it's only a very short film as well, just over an hour. But yeah, if you do have the time, definitely do go watch it. It is on Netflix. So yeah,
it's cool.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Very cool.
So
very cool. Yeah.
We'll get on to our next topic at which will be Ahsoka.
Okay.
Which I still haven't put the theme in yet. So we're using Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's all right. We're Clone Warsing it.
We're Clone Warsing it.
Yeah.
So yes,
Rebel
part
Season 6.
4 of Ahsoka has released this week, called Fallen Jedi. And in this week's episode, oh my gosh, so much happens.
Oh boy.
So much bloody happens in this week's episode. Basically, it comes from the backburn of last week's one, which was a tremendous episode, where basically Ahsoka and Sabine stuck on a planet. The planet. I always forget what the planet's called.
I don't remember what it's called. It's the space planet with red trees.
The space planet with the trees and stuff like that. And they're basically hunted down by the people that got sent after them by Balin in the last episode. And then basically Ahsoka and Sabine are just like, all right, we're going to find the bad guys, go and defeat the map and try and get it all sorted. But obviously things go very awry and in all the right ways, because this is the first episode to have probably some of the coolest action sequences so far in the movie. So we had 3 lightsaber battles in this one episode. We also had Hu Yang basically beat up another robot, which was really cool.
That was cool. That was the best part.
Yeah, that was actually kind of interesting to see. And obviously we had a very big cliffhanger of an episode. This one.
Oh boy.
Ahsoka going.
The show's over. They killed Ahsoka.
They killed Ahsoka. That's it. She's dead. She's dead. She didn't go into weird timey-wimey bullshit.
We'll get to it.
Yes, we'll get to it. So
let's start this one off at the beginning, though.
Let's start it off at the beginning.
Yes.
Take it away,
Yeah,
Clayton.
so basically, we start off with the coolest part because David Tennant as a robot fights another robot, and there's a cool robot-on-robot fight. That was really cool to see. We don't see much robot-on-robot action in Star Wars, and it was cool to see that. It was a little different kind of fight, especially because both of them knew how to fight, which I don't think we've seen that, apart from like stuff with R2-D2. So that was always cool to see. And then we move on to a lightsaber fight in the forest where the apprentice Dark Jedi, whatever they are, we still don't know, goes up against Ahsoka and Sabine, and also Merrick's there too. I forgot about him.
Yes,
because they have a fight. Merrick is revealed to be like a fart cloud in a spacesuit. So
that's right. Yeah.
He
so
wasn't
basically, Merrick was like, a lot of people were hyping up to be this massive character, and so were we. I was hoping he would be someone, but he turns out to be just a goddamn zombie or some weird voodoo magic thing. Because since Morgan is a Night Sister, obviously that's where he came from. And we still don't know who he actually was or anything like that. And they probably won't reveal it now because he dead again.
No. It was just Night Sister magic brought him back. He was probably an Inquisitor or something. It's an Inquisitor, they brought him back, sure.
And then obviously, we had Sabine and Shin, who is the Jedi apprentice, fight one another. And obviously Sabine is still not very good with her lightsaber whatsoever and gets her ass handed to her multiple times until she starts using her Mandalorian armor and all the aspects, what she should have done in the first place. And somehow overcomes Shin.
Stupid.
Yeah. Overcome Shin. She wins the battle and Shin runs away. But the one good battle. Can we talk about the one good battle?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Can I talk about those ones first?
Yep. Let's talk about those ones first.
I would like to throw my thoughts in. The worst parts of this show have been the Sabine lightsaber fights because how is she keeping up with this pro Jedi? It's a little. It's probably my most major gripe is it's a little unbelievable how good she is sometimes with it's plot armor at its finest.
Yes.
And I wish she just got her ass handed to her in like 2 seconds and had to rely on the Mandalorian stuff. Instead of having 20 minutes of fighting before she uses the rest of the stuff she's got on her utility belt. It's like if Batman punched the shark before he used shark spray. Use what you're good at.
Use what you're good with, what you have. And,
like they're padding the episode, but they could do it in a better way. It's like use the stuff we've seen her know she's good at. Anyway, that was my little gripe. Talk about the good fight.
So the good fight this time around is we actually get to see Baylan and Ahsoka basically go up against one another. And I would have to say this fight is probably one of the best fights that I've actually seen in all of Star Wars. Definitely. It
was pretty good.
In the top 10 for sure. Or live action ones anyway. It was actually really cool to see Baylan. He's fighting and his stances and everything like that. And he's like overall thoughts. Because that's the thing. He's a character that didn't want to fight Ahsoka. And a lot of things do get mentioned already in this episode as they did in the teasers and stuff like that. Baylan knows who Ahsoka is. He knew who Anakin was and knew what Anakin ended up becoming. He's a survivor of the 66 and everything like that. And, he's still very much somewhat remembers the Jedi code and trains his apprentice like almost a Jedi as well. And he has this most brutal fighting style, I would say. He is such a massive guy and it was so amazing to see
huge
them.
dude.
He's huge. And it was really cool to see his actual fighting style. But then it was also great to see Ahsoka's fighting style, because she actually changed it up a little bit when fighting him. She actually used a lot of the fighting style that Anakin did in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith when fighting him.
Yeah.
Which obviously does tie in very big into this episode as to what it all is, because it's very much, well, it's called Fallen Jedi. And obviously a very big part of this, they were talking about the old ways and everything like that, where Ahsoka doesn't want to be there to talk about her past, and Baylan wants to talk about the future and the reason why he's doing all these things and what makes him seem to be a, quote, bad guy type thing. Because, you know, he's planning something. We're not sure yet as to what it is, but he has an ulterior motive to get
He knows
Thrawn
something.
back.
He knows something that we don't.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Before we move on to the next part that I know you want to talk about, I would like to talk about Baylan a little bit, because he is my favorite character from this series.
Yeah,
I want more on him. I want to see more about him, and I hope we get lots. And I hope that we get a lot more of him just talking, because he's very Count Dooku with these things.
Yes,
like the Ahsoka fight. I was hoping that they just come to some kind of solution, or he would just body her in about 2 seconds, you know, once they do start. I wanted that to be a bit more drawn out. It feels like it was rushed into a fight because they had to show flashy lightsaber fights. It's again, the lightsaber fight's letting me down a little bit. And
well, that's the thing, because even the way
I know you like it.
He's such a
this
an
lightsaber fight
voice.
Yeah, he is. But this lightsaber fight felt a little like slow and wonky to me, and I'm not sure why. I don't know exactly how to pin that, but it just felt a little bit wonky to me. I don't know. If you've picked up on that at all. The lightsabers have kind of been a little bit wonky.
Okay, no, I might have to go back and rewatch it, because I've only watched this episode once. So
same. But yeah, I was watching it. I'm like, it just kind of feels a little bit slow and clunky. Lots of like unnecessary spins and slow lightsaber swings.
Maybe there was like a couple times where Ahsoka did do like a move, and I was like, okay, you didn't need to do that, but sure.
We get a lot of that, and I think that's probably just because it's carrying over from the animation style, where they do lots of flashy, but they're fast with it.
Yeah,
because it's the animation. You know, you can turn around 4 times faster, of course.
Yeah,
you know, but that's cool. Yeah, Baylan, I want more of him. He's very much the Dark Jedi imposing dude. It really sucks that the actor has passed away, because I would like to see more. And hopefully we get adaptations of him in other media, some novelizations or something like what they did with
maybe
Thrawn.
we'll get something. So
it would be really cool.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is he kills Ahsoka. Ahsoka's dead now.
That's it. And then Sabine's just like, oh, I'll destroy the map. And then he's just like, no, you won't, because I can get Ezra back. And then I kind of called it. I called it. She was gonna turn. Because obviously
you mentioned the lights.
I did mention
the colored,
the colors and everything like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but obviously she kind of betrays Ahsoka in a way once Ahsoka dies. And she basically goes with Baylan and Shin to try and get Ezra, because her whole point of this is to find Ezra. You know, that's her whole motive, while she's probably joined back up with Ahsoka and doing all this, is literally to find Ezra again. And obviously they're just at a mutual alliance at the moment, even though she's being held prisoner type thing. But she didn't destroy the map, and obviously off they go. Well, they did go to the next universe, which we don't get to see to next week's episode. But what we did see at the end of this episode was, I would have to say, one of the best transitions that it did.
Oh yeah,
in, like, any movie.
That was cool.
So basically, what happens? We see obviously Baylan kick Ahsoka off and lose the fight. She's not dead. She's in the world between worlds. Everyone, they actually did it.
How did she get there? We don't know.
How did she get there? We don't know yet. I would say a portal would be in that area. Space magic. That's how it works.
Space whales.
Well, apparently it's like a kind of a thing. I think there's an interview with Dave Filoni did saying how the world between worlds does work. You do have to like somewhat die or be close to death to be able to access it.
Yeah.
There was something like back when he was doing Rebels.
Know.
Yeah, so
Still
it's still
don't
kind of
really know
thing.
what the World Between Worlds
But
stuff is.
that
So-
wasn't the biggest reveal in it. The biggest
Oh,
reveal
no.
was that we had
Jar Jar Binks is back.
Jar Jar Binks is back.
Misa been here for a long time.
Anakin, aka Hayden Christensen, is back. He looks a little bit off. He has been de-aged in the scene because obviously they wanted to make him look like Revenge of the Sith type thing. But he's back in live action with Snips, and he actually said, "Hey, Snips," in the scene, and I was freaking out when that happened. I was like, "This is how they're doing it. This is how they're doing it." Because that's the thing.
He's
I was
back in
not
Pog form.
He's back
whoa.
in. I was not expecting them
insane.
to do the World Between Worlds in the show. Like I was expecting them to actually. I was expecting them to reference it and everything like that because of all the symbols and stuff like that. But I wasn't expecting them to actually go in it because I thought that would be kind of strange to do in live action compared to animation. And you know what? It still is a bit strange, but how they introduced it, I'm happy with. It depends on how next week's episode goes now. That leads into it because it's such a massive cliffhanger. Depends on how it actually really goes and how it all gets resolved and stuff like that. But it was
insane.
This is bringing Star Wars to a whole new level now.
It changes everything. The World Between Worlds changes everything. I thought that it was going to be like Force dashing in The Phantom Menace, where we see it once and then it's never mentioned again.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, they're doing it full force, and I guarantee there's thousands of people watching this that are going, "What the fuck are we looking at?" Because this is insane. I mean, we're seeing Anakin back. Theoretically, Ahsoka could pull him out and have him be alive in this timeline.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you can change all the timelines and stuff like that, but then obviously certain things could go wrong, and that's what they kind of did mention.
We can just wait. What if we
no sequels?
We just do this and it just gets rid of the sequel trilogy. That's the plan.
Well, that might be the big thing, really, because a lot of people have been speculating that because obviously Dave Filoni, what he's setting up for is his own trilogy of films. He is doing the Thrawn trilogy. It turns out of films. He is going to be the writer for it.
Christ.
Yep. But this is the thing now. It actually all might be set in an alternate galaxy because they did mention the new galaxy and everything like that, where Ezra and Thrawn are compared to where the sequel trilogy is, and that would bring out a whole new timeline of things, a whole new era of things for Star Wars. Well, that's the thing. We are in probably next week's episode, depending on how it goes. We are going to see a new galaxy for the first time in any Star Wars like TV show or movie. Whenever they do that.
Anything, outside of comics and legends.
Yeah, outside of comics and legends and stuff like that. But this is actually going to be the first time where they're changing up Star Wars. Like Dave Filoni has changed up Star Wars now with this episode and what he's trying to do for everything Star Wars. And I'm all for it. I am all for it. I want to see where this goes now. Because this is so I'm so heavily invested in this now. This episode absolutely blew me away. I did like the fighting. I did quite enjoy it, but I might have to go back and watch it. Like you said, there was little inconsistencies and stuff like that.
Go back. It's not as good as you remember.
Okay.
All off. I don't know why.
Hugh Yang was absolutely amazing to see. I hope we see more of him. I want to see him at least once in this show get lightsabers, because that's the thing. Since he's a 1,000-year robot, he probably at least a few times trained with Jedis, because he was the one that made the lightsabers for him and stuff like that. He built them.
Yeah. Guarantee he'll go General Grievous at some point. Like he has to. That's got to be too.
He's got
Dave Filoni definitely thought of that. He's like, I definitely want to give Hugh. That's probably why he's in the shows. He wanted to give him lightsabers.
Probably. And obviously the stuff with Hera and her son that kind of fell through a little bit. The whole rebel side to it. I'm not really liking that in this show whatsoever. No. I'm not really invested in those characters. I'm just mainly in like what Ahsoka's doing and mainly what Baylan and Shin and everything are kind of doing. Like I'm more rooting for like the bad guys in a way in this show, and also Ahsoka than like anyone else.
They're the most interesting characters.
Yeah,
Gary, I vouch that Baylan is more interesting than Ahsoka in this show.
Oh yeah,
just
in this show. Yeah,
Baylan,
because that's the thing. He's a new character. We don't know much about him and everything like that. Where we got to see so much of Ahsoka. Obviously Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to see more of Baylan. We're halfway already through the season, you know.
Yeah, this was episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4. But here's the thing about next week's episode 5, which I'm even more looking to. Apparently, it's going to be the longest running episode of this season. It is going to be around 50 minutes long. And also as well, because since it's such a big thing, in selected cinemas in America, they are going to be releasing only this episode in cinemas. Only this episode. None of the others.
So
only
weird.
This one. Because it is obviously going to be directed by Dave Filoni as well next episode. And that's the thing. Obviously, yeah, next episode is going to kick it off with the World Between Worlds. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in next week's episode, and probably a lot of stuff that is going to change Star Wars forever in next week's episode, I would say. Yeah. How it all works from now on.
It's true.
So, yeah.
It's insane.
It is.
I mean, the fact that they're putting a single episode of a show in cinemas, Disney haven't done that ever.
No, that's right. They haven't done it for
anything
any of the other
Disney
ones.
Plus. That's weird. Like,
that is strange.
This must be some next level shit that we're going to see, because like, what could they do that's cinema worthy? That's an episode. It's going to have to be self-contained, right? You think or like for the most part. A chunk of the story.
Well, that's the thing, because it's still selected cinema. So I'd like to find out actually how much, how many cinemas it's going to be released into and stuff like that.
The World Between Worlds. How do you get out of the World Between Worlds? How's Ahsoka going to get out?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You just go back through like another portal type thing. That's how they did it in the movie. But that's the thing, because even in the Rebels, the show, Ezra tried to bring back Kanan. But since Kanan was like, if he didn't die type thing, then Ezra would be dead in a way, and so would the rest of Ghost Crew if Kanan survived, because Kanan sacrificed himself to save everyone. So it has to be like certain things. So it still works within the refines of time and everything like that, but somehow, like Ezra was able to pull out Ahsoka fighting Vader, and survive type thing, because that wasn't really a canon event. But that's the thing, because like Ahsoka's character is
it doesn't make any sense.
Kind of strange with a lot of the things as well, and this is what we might be getting into with theories upon this episode as to who
she has
Anakin
died
actually is.
3 times.
She has died
Ahsoka
3
has
times,
died 3
and she's
times
basically
in her
like been
life.
resurrected by a god as well.
It's Ahsoka can't die. She's died 3 times in canon. It's insane. And then so there's some speculations that that's not actually Anakin we're seeing.
No, because he looks a bit off. Yeah, he looks a little
CGI aside,
but no, just
it's
even
the sun.
what
So the Mortis gods.
Yeah, the Mortis gods, which is obviously a big
There's another thing that changed Star Wars forever. It was the Mortis arc, and stuff.
Yep.
Because well, I mean, we saw some wacky stuff during that Clone Wars thing, and this is again Dave Filoni doing that sort of stuff, going nuts with it. Yeah, and killing Ahsoka again. It always involves killing Ahsoka when he does something nuts.
Also, at the end of this episode, when the credits started to play, or just before the credits started to play, there's a bit of black. They actually play Darth Vader's theme. They play the Imperial March in a different melody, but it is the Imperial March when the episode ends. And obviously as well, his lightsaber, it doesn't look like Anakin's Youngling Slayer 2000. It looks like Darth Vader's lightsaber, because it's black. So
little hints like that. Dave Filoni wouldn't miss that.
No, he would not.
He definitely wouldn't. No, he'd notice if a belt buckle was the wrong way around. This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
For the most part, with that sort of stuff, it's crazy. I have no idea where this is gonna go, and I think this is the most like interested I've been in Star Wars things in a while, because this is so different.
Yep.
This is unique. This is weird. This is funky, and if they pull it off, this could be amazing. If they stuff it up, this could be god awful and would ruin the show.
It could be another sequel trilogy all over again.
It could. It could be This could be the somehow Palpatine returned of this show.
Yeah.
This could also be Rogue One. You know, like it could be either. Have faith in Filoni. Have faith in everything that's hinting at it being good. The cinemas and the longer episode, the release. The weird wackiness.
To it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go.
Thrawn yet. We haven't even got to Thrawn yet.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
We're not going to see Thrawn.
We still have to see Thrawn in this show, and that's the thing. They've got the same actor who voiced Thrawn to actually play Thrawn in this show as well, which I am looking forward to. And by the sounds of it, even as well, like it's going to be threatening to actually see Thrawn on screen and as an opposing villain
Oh,
for the next foreseeable future. Because that's the thing, Thrawn is going to be the big bad guy for the upcoming Dave Filoni trilogy. You know, this is what he's all been setting up for and everything like that. He's going to be the next big bad guy in Star Wars now. So, and that's the thing, he should be.
He's big and bad and blue. He's got the 3B
and got the red eyes.
Yeah, that's
like how more
3
evil
and
can
a
you
half
get?
Bs.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10 because I gave the first episode a 9, and I think for me anyway, this is on par with the first episode for me anyway, personally. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to next week's episode to see how they are going to do all the Worlds Between Worlds stuff now. Like you said, I haven't been this invested in Star Wars probably since Clone Wars, if I'm being, or Bad Batch.
Mando for me.
Yeah,
well, Bad Batch was good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, like Mando season 3 and Book of Boba Fett and the Kenobi show and stuff like that. It was just like kind of and didn't leave like mystery. Even though like obviously we had Andor as well, did come out, which I absolutely adored and everything like that.
Very good.
But it obviously with Andor, it didn't leave this mystery of this being like what's gonna happen next type thing.
Because we knew where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Because, he dies in Rogue One.
And this is the thing. Like, if Dave Filoni in the next episode, if he can pull off what he's trying to pull off, this is literally going to shape how Star Wars is seen forever now. And this is why he literally should be like the head of Lucasfilm, because he is basically George Lucas 2.0.
Pretty much. And he's doing just as wacky stuff as George Lucas was doing. Like, George Lucas would just do wacky shit. And Dave Filoni's following in his footsteps in every single way, getting wackier, funkier. He's wearing a hat, though. He's got a cowboy hat, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
This episode, I'm going to give it an 8. Near perfect. Again, some writing issues annoying me. I hate how incompetent all of the New Republic people are.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. I hate that in everything. They did it in the sequel trilogy. They did it in everything. It's so stupid and dumb. They went from being really cool guys during the rebellion, and then as soon as they're a New Republic, that everyone's an idiot all of a sudden. I'm like, I hate that. It's so stupid. And that it just makes the bad guys seem just so much less of a threat when the guys are incompetent. If the good guys are competent, then the bad guys have to be more competent. So that one makes Thrawn much more of a threatening presence, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could lead into the First Order being so prevalent in The Force Awakens is because Thrawn kicked the shit out of all the smart dudes. So we'll see where it's going. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly now. Who knows? It's 8 out of 10. Yeah, some fight scenes let me down. I feel like they need to work on their choreography a little bit.
Yep.
Just because the fight scenes kind of suck. Like, they're fun, they're cool. They're not the best that we've seen. It's not Duel of the Fates from the Phantom Menace.
No, it's nothing like that. It's not Revenge of the Sith against Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
And it's like Star Wars fights can be really good.
Yeah.
They're doing too much. There's been a lightsaber fight in like every episode, and they're all very mediocre. They need to either sparse them out, make them all interesting, or make them more like important. In the prequel trilogy, whenever there was a lightsaber fight, someone was gonna die. They were big events. That was an end of a movie thing, and now as we get one every episode, it's like, nothing matters yet.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to up the stakes and do something different, which it's doing different.
Hopefully. Oh yeah, no, it ended differently. That's for sure.
Pull it off.
But we'll just see how it goes.
I don't think anyone was predicting that ending.
No,
I hadn't seen anyone do that, which is really impressive. They did that because Star Wars fans are insane at predicting. I mean, you predicted the bloody Sabine switching sides just from the color of the freaking intro.
Yeah,
they're insane.
I
man.
knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
They're insane. You were right. Insane is correct, and I'm sure.
That is correct.
See where this goes, because I think that brings us to an end of another episode, Barry.
It does. So, thanks for joining, everyone. Here at We Talk Film, the podcast where we do talk about films and TV shows and just about everything, So make sure to, listen to us on all our social media and stuff like that, wherever we're scattered. And obviously we do have a YouTube channel as well.
Everywhere.
Make sure to check that out as well. And thanks for listening. See you next time. Goodbye.
I can subscribe, buddies. And stop recording. All right.
Oh, director's
cut. We can take our shirts off now.
What? I didn't sign up for that.
The director's cut. No, I haven't been wearing pants the entire time.
What?
You wear pants on the podcast?
You wear pants on the podcast?
Don't. Are you insane?
Oh,
director's cut. Ooh, that was a good episode. We got through a lot. I feel like we were talking a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot. And just over an hour, so, you know.
Craig! Yeah, perfect timing. Love that. Craig. There you are. Let me download the Craig episodes. I'll see if your audio went funky for that little bit in it, because that's kind of what it was doing when it went funky last time.
Okay. No, but on my side, it was all good and everything like that, so.
Yeah. No, we'll see. It might be alright.
Yeah. Welcome to the director's cut, everyone. We don't really have much to say today. There's not much else really happened, and you know, all that's been on my mind really has been Ahsoka, the newest episode of Ahsoka. Because I'm still just shocked that they did War Between Worlds, man. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I was really not expecting them not to do that, because I honestly thought it would be really hard to pull off in at live action anyway. But I suppose we'll find out next week's episode on how well it actually goes.
Yeah, man. Real. Oh man, trying to organize a camping trip while on podcast. That's great. Oh no, don't download it twice. I'm multitasking.
Multitasking. We always multitask in the director's cut. That's all we seem to do in the director's cut. Which I might turn off the director's cut because we don't have anything to do. Yeah. So thanks for joining anyway.
Director's cut. Bye bye.